All right, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Greetings from the Garden State. I'm your host, Mike Ham. We are here in Byram, New Jersey today at Wild West City, a throwback, but really excited about this one with Katie and Frank Benson. Katie and Frank, welcome to the show.
Thanks, Mike. It's great to be on.
Thank you, Mike. Yes, we're very excited.
Yeah, very excited. So I think we were joking or talking about whatever. I think you guys might have followed me on Instagram or something, and I was like, holy shit. Wild West City. Like, I literally haven't been here in 20 years, but it just like, it's so cool because it's just like a flood of nostalgia back into my brain.
Like a blast of the past.
Blast from the past, deal. Seriously. Yeah. It's awesome. You know. And like, I was like, I need to get these guys on the show. So I'm so excited that I'm here.
It's actually funny because I think you had Virginia from NJ Spots on your show.
Yeah.
And she came up and she wanted to come up here. And I started following her, and then that's when I found you.
Yeah.
And then we just kind of followed each other back.
Hey, it's the community, it's the network, and that's what we're all about here.
Works.
But
absolutely.
Yeah, so it's really cool. So we're sitting outside. What's the name of the saloon? The Silver Dollar?
Silver Dollar Saloon, yeah.
Yeah, so if you're watching on YouTube, you could see the saloon doors in the background. If you're listening, we're sitting basically on the street. Does the street have a name?
Right, it's just our main street, and
just
this
Main
is
Street.
Yeah,
this is where all
This is the town center. This is where all the action happens.
All the action. And we're going to get to the action, what actually goes on in the second segment a little bit, but we're going to learn kind of the history, which is an ample history of Wild West City, and a little bit more about you guys. So when did Wild West City start? How long has it been here? Take me through a little bit of that.
Well, actually, Wild West City first opened up in 1957 in spring. A gentleman by the name of Justice Nienaber was the gentleman who actually started it, came up with the idea, and they replicated off of Dodge City, Kansas, back in the 1880s.
Yeah. The engineers fly out to Dodge City, Kansas, get the measurements, and then
they came back here and kind of replicated off that. So Justice and his crew started first for years, and then our grandfather in the 1962, he went in it with a group of investors as it was supposed to be like a quick investment type deal.
Yeah.
A few years later, he was like, let's buy him out and make it a thing. He saw something that could be successful, and
him and his 6 kids started running, and his wife, or grandmother.
Yeah. And then, 65 years later and 3 generations later, here we are, still keeping it going and growing and, creating memories and bringing memories back to people like yourself.
Right.
Something that you lived as a childhood, and now you can relive it. In a way,
exactly. No, that's really cool. So granted, none of us have been here for 65 years, but has the town or the way that the structure or whatever of what you guys do here, is that obviously, I'm assuming, has changed over time, right?
Yeah. I mean, obviously, there are a lot of things that have to change to evolve with the times and grow and all that. But really, the main town, the main street is kind of very similar to what it looked like back then. Like, this saloon was almost the same saloon that was built back in the 50s. Yeah. And same thing with the Opera House General Store. And obviously, we've added things throughout the years. But yeah, for the most part, and the history and the town is still here, what it was. You know?
So for the two of you, first, what's your roles here at Wild West City?
Well, I'm kind of like the operations manager. We both are in a way. We kind of oversee the operations and hiring and make sure the daily activities are running smoothly. As years went on, our parents were in that role, and now we kind of took over, and they're kind of more in the upper level, overseeing things.
I do mostly the marketing, but I wear different hats. So you'll see me doing the retail orders. I'm a lot behind the scenes. A little bit of acting, food service, working in the barn. We do it all.
Yeah. Well, and that's kind of the cool part of the job, is where it's like, one day you're, fixing a toilet, fixing electric, something like that. Right, the next day I'm playing cowboy in the main street. You know what I mean? So it's kind of cool. Yeah. I can. Every day's different, right? And it's exciting, and it's not always the same office job where I'm going and doing the same thing every day.
Yeah, there's not many office jobs that get to play cowboy.
Exactly, So it's pretty cool.
My office job doesn't allow me to do that. I'm sure if I did, they'd be like, "What the hell is going on?"
Can't bring your gun to. Can't bring it.
Definitely not. Yeah, that's a hard pass. But awesome. Yeah, I mean, it's funny because you said different hats, and you're wearing a cowboy hat, and I walked in here and I was like, I'm wearing Chucks and shorts, and I instantly feel out of place here. So kind of just as curiosity, this is, I think, the second, third generation family business that we've had on the show. Mm-hmm. The first one was Calandra's Bakery, and now you guys. And it's like, I just think it's so interesting. Like, I asked Thomas from Calandra's, I was like, did you ever just get like sick of bread? You know? And like here, I would just imagine like you guys kind of grew up in this environment because it's a third generation family business, but you're ever just like, I'm so sick of Wild West City, you know? Or is it something that you just like, but now you're here, so I'm assuming not,
No.
right? Yeah.
I mean, what's the cool part is it's kind of, at least for me and even Katie as well, it's kind of taught us pretty much everything we know.
Yeah.
You know, all our skills come from this place.
We learn a lot of different skills.
I'm sure.
Yeah. You know, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Always some, and that's what I said before. It's always something different.
Yeah.
You know, so like it's not always, you know, doing the same thing.
Growing
you know?
up, you don't really think about like, oh, like this is, you know, normal for people.
Doesn't everyone do this?
Yeah, right.
So I don't know. I have a greater appreciation for that, and I don't think I would ever go back and change how we grew up. It's
Yeah.
a lot of fun. It's a lot of hard work, but it's definitely worth it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it pays off at the end.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and one cool fact is our parents actually met here.
Really?
So this is where our parents met, and
Yeah.
they grew up together, and
Yeah.
they got married. So
My dad started our dad started working here when he was 14, and
Okay.
then
my
from
mom was
there-
here.
Yeah,
you
my
know,
mom was here.
had a
So
nice, you know.
took off from there.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah. So she's
You
just
know.
like, you know, the cowboy life. It's just,
Yeah, pretty
it's
much.
in
You know, it's in
Yeah.
your blood.
You can't shake it.
know?
No, it's so cool. And it just like, I don't know, to me, it's such a cool thing because, you know, you guys like clearly have like a passion for it and, you know, like kind of keeping this going for as long as it has been going. Cause, you know, like places like this, sometimes like they don't kind of stand the test of that time, you know, but it's just so cool to see a place like this in kind of like the world that we live in today where it's less, you know,
Yeah, well, and,
like
and
interactive,
Yeah.
I guess. But this is kind of like a real world Westworld.
It
Yeah.
really is. It's very
Yeah,
interactive.
exactly.
You don't like get actually murdered.
yeah,
Minus the
make
raunchy
believe.
part.
Yeah.
you know, but it's cool because then you kind of, you know, going back to like you know how the world is, you can escape all that
Right.
by coming here. You know, come use your imagination. You go to the Wild West for a day.
Yeah.
and forget about everything else.
Yeah.
you know. So I think that's something that definitely helps us, and you know, for sure.
Yeah.
You know?
Awesome. And then, so how long ago did you guys kind of take over the operations of Wild West City? Like you two?
2018, you think?
Yeah, probably
Okay.
within the last 5
About
years
5
or
years.
so.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, even like starting in high school, even past high school, we were,
Yeah.
you know, we were involved in the business, but not like,
High school, we were just kind of working. We were employees.
sure.
We were kind of just like
You know.
equals on the playing board. Like
and then after that, it's
after
kind of
like
like,
college, that's when we kind of started
This is
doing
what we
more
wanna do.
things.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is
Yeah.
what we want to do, and we're here for the long run.
Right. And then, so I mean, that's like an interesting time to take over a business like this, just given current events and things
Yeah.
going on in the world. I don't
Absolutely.
know if you guys were aware. And like, I'm sure that presented like a lot of challenges over the last, you know, few years, right?
yeah, even like COVID, you know, I think everyone suffered from it.
Yeah.
You know, but thank God we were able to, you know,
Work
stay
through it.
strong, work through it, get through it. I mean, we're still experiencing the effects of it, you
Sure.
know, to an extent, but
Yeah.
you know, we're surviving, we're growing through
Yeah.
it. You know, that's all you can do.
Yeah, absolutely.
know?
Just roll with the
That's it.
punches.
Roll with the
Yeah,
punches.
exactly.
Exactly. And
You know,
figure it out. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, you know.
Yeah, and then so like there's obviously like a lot of horses and stuff here. So do you guys have like a farm that you keep the horses? Are they your horses?
We have a barn right down the hill.
Okay, cool.
We have 15 horses, and they're all used for the business.
Yeah.
Some of them pull the stagecoach, which is a big horse-drawn wagon.
Yep.
The cowboys, the actors, they ride the horses in all the shows, and then we have pony rides for the kids.
Very cool. Very cool. All right,
And-
so we're gonna. Oh, go ahead.
And they're here all year round too.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's a
part of the
full-time
family.
job in itself.
Yeah,
You
like
know, just
training them, I would
training
imagine.
them,
Yeah.
feeding them,
Yeah.
taking care of them. That's, you know,
Yeah.
you're there every day. So
Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're gonna get more into that. I don't know why I just had to ask that question now. But we're gonna take our first break of this episode, and then we'll come back and we're gonna get a experience kind of feel for what goes on here, like what your day is going to be like at Wild West City. So this is the Greetings from the Garden State podcast. I'm Mike Ham. We're here at Wild West City in Byram, New Jersey with Katie and Frank Benson. We'll be right back. Hey everyone, Mike Ham here. I hope you're enjoying this episode with Frank and Katie Benson, owners of Wild West City. To learn more about the show, myself, or to listen to all of our other great episodes, make sure to head to greetingsfromthegardenstate.com. And if you like what you hear, make sure you like, subscribe, and leave a review on your favorite listening platform. Now, back to the show. All right, we're back for segment 2 of this episode of Greetings from the Garden State. I'm your host, Mike Ham. We are here in Byram, New Jersey at Wild West City with Katie and Frank Benson. So in the first segment, we kind of just learned a little bit about the background of Wild West City, kind of what you guys do here and what you're all about, and the family 65 years of a family business, which is amazing. Cowboys already rolling through town. So we're going to do kind of like if someone comes here for the first time, and if you haven't been here, you should at least experience this at least once in your life. My personal opinion. So if you're coming here for the first time, maybe kind of take me through like we can start slow with like broad strokes and then get more specific as we go, because there is a lot of stuff that goes on here, but kind of how your day will get started. Let's take it from there.
So first things first, when you walk through those gates, it's like you're entering a real Wild West town.
Yeah.
You kind of step back in time and you're like, whoa, am I really in this cowboy town?
Yeah.
As you walk up the street, you'll see all the buildings. Inside a lot of those buildings are museums or some shops. So there's a lot of history that you can explore, artifacts.
Well, and plus too, and like you said before, you got real cowboys walking around, and cowgirls. You're immersed in an experience where it's like, you can't go anywhere else you see a cowboy anywhere else, you'd be like, what the hell is that?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Why is that one person dressed up?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. You come here, it's like, oh man, I'm actually in the Wild West.
Right.
You can see horses, the cowboys. You can ride a horse-drawn carriage through town.
Yeah.
And you get to actually watch live action shows, shootouts.
Yep.
Bank robberies. Bank gets robbed every day.
Yeah.
Stagecoach gets robbed every day.
Worst security bank.
Yeah, right. Clerks getting shot every day.
Yeah. Tough job. So, and then so you said, I didn't even realize, like museums and artifacts, like what are some of those things that you have? Like, are they like stuff from the Old West, I guess? Yeah,
like if you walk into the one museum, the Frontier Museum, it's kind of gives you the layout of what it would be for what you find on a typical
like a homestead cabin, type deal.
Yeah.
What they cook with, what they clean with, what they there's like an old apple peeler in there. You put an apple on, the thing will peel. It's all mechanical. What they wash their clothes with.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm,
you can go to the barber shop and there's legit old barber chairs, and the old razors and
Doc Holliday's office. You can see caskets. You see like teeth actually.
Yeah, really? Teeth. All right.
Actually, in the marshal office, our jail is actually was an actual jail cell from I think Camden in the late 1800s.
Really?
Early 1900s. Yeah. And somehow we got it, but it's actual, but it's it used to be a legit jail cell. Doors closed, and you can, a lot of people take their pictures in it.
Yeah.
Like they're locked up in jail and all that. So, that's a pretty cool experience as well.
Yeah.
One thing that he mentioned is, you can see all the shows on the street, but also you can participate in a couple of them too.
Right.
So the town will get robbed, and the marshal will come out on horseback, and he'll ask everyone to come down to the marshal's office so we can swear them all in, hand out badges, and then
that's the one I did.
Yes.
Yeah, that's like my one. I did that one. Yeah.
Yeah, and they start the hunt, and they find those outlaws that robbed, whether it was the stagecoach or the bank.
Yeah.
Well, and plus too, it's kind of like it can be a fun experience for all ages.
Right.
It's not just for kids, not just for grandparents. Anybody can come here and have a good time. And whether it's the kids getting involved in the show, the adults can get involved in the show.
The adults can head up to the saloon.
Yeah, they can go hang out in the saloon.
There's a full bar in there.
Oh, full bar and all that. You can come have a drink, watch a show.
Yeah.
Like we'll have just couples walk in, hang out all day long, and enjoy the day. So it's kind of like an experience for all ages.
Yeah.
The more you get involved, the better your experience is.
Yeah, yeah. Because I think that's kind of like what it's all about. You're not going to just come and watch. Like you want to, like you said, immerse yourself in this experience and have some fun with it.
Want to feel like they're walking into like a Westworld town.
Right.
Plus,
exactly.
You can buy a cowboy hat. You can buy cowboy boots. You can go buy a cap gun.
Yeah.
And you can kind of get into it just like everybody else.
I still remember my cap gun.
Yeah.
That was the best. And it made like a real shot, and I thought it was so cool.
Yeah, the loud noise and all.
I only had so many caps, and I was a big saver. Like I would save my Halloween candy for years until my parents would eat it themselves. I remember I only had so many shots in it, and I was I got to save this for the perfect time. And but yeah, it was so cool. Okay, so. Take me through maybe so we mentioned the standoff, the sheriff's swords, and all that kind of stuff. Maybe some of the other live action shows that you guys do, because there's horse tricks, I think, and doing all that kind of stuff, right?
Yeah, we do. Actually, we do a horse race. Two actors, cowboys ride up, grab their hat, and they race down the street.
Yeah.
It's kind of a typical race. Whoever has their hat on, cross the line first wins.
We have a trick rider who hangs off the side of the horse and jumps on as the horse is running full speed up to the street.
Yeah. Yeah, that's Compone Express, the mailman of that time. He comes in, delivers a mail, he rides out of town on the side of saddle, and he gets on, does his mount, and away he goes.
Yeah.
Jesse James and his gang come rob the bank every day. They come in with their horses, shoot up the town,
Yeah.
and then they get the money, they run out of town.
Yeah.
We have a lot of historical factors in our shows, as well as like our own dramatized shows.
Sure.
So like different comedies. The persistent undertaker, he's the guy who comes around and buries all the bodies. So he'll come in, it's kind of a little bit of a comedy. He'll measure people, and then he's trying to sell a coffin.
Yeah. Very cool. And then, so like you mentioned, some of them have like historical significance, and some of like obviously like dramatized ones. But kind of as you're going through these and like going through the years, 65 years, I'm sure like the shows change. So you ever like trying different kinds of shows and like adding some in, like, oh, let's try like this one today. Like let's make some stuff up.
Yeah, well, actually, like
being creative.
Actually, we do a lot of that with Halloween.
Okay.
Was it 3 years ago? We're coming 3 years for Halloween. We actually got back into the Halloween, and we've been writing a different story for each year. Like the first year, we did a show / story on a
gold miner.
Yeah, gold miner.
Okay.
And he's this crazy gold miner looking for the golden skull.
Yeah.
Because he lost his head. Last year, we did
a frontiersman.
Yeah, Frontier was the frontiersman, and John West, the crazy frontiersman, was going nuts. He was the marshal of town. He went crazy, and he
lost his wife. He lost his son. So he was going after everyone in town.
Yeah.
And then this year we're doing the story on the Undertaker this year.
Okay.
But part of the Halloween experience is it's either a walking trail or a train ride. So you go on either one, whichever order. But you go along the train ride. All the stories connect.
Yeah.
So it's going to make sense either way.
Yeah. Not just like random story.
Yeah, random
it's
stuff.
not just like a Halloween scare where like, okay, there's a clown room.
Yeah.
There's going to be different key pieces that you're going to learn about different characters as you go through the experience.
Yeah. That's very cool.
Well, that stuff too. It's like we started writing this right after last Halloween.
Yeah.
Because it sounds crazy, but it kind of takes time to.
Well, yeah.
Sure, your parts are perfect, and
put the puzzle pieces together
exactly.
to make it make sense, like you said.
Because you want your show to be perfect.
Yeah.
When you present it to the public, because you want them to come back the next year, to see it again or see what else you got.
Right, or a different experience or whatever it is.
Exactly.
It was funny, like yesterday, I've just been like on a lot of different calls with a lot of different people around New Jersey for various reasons. And I was talking to someone that lives in Morristown, and she was asking like, there was something going on in Morristown tonight, and I was like, oh, I got a busy day. Because I told you guys, this morning I'm interviewing you guys, later I'm interviewing Miss New Jersey. And she was like, oh, she's like, I went to Wild West City, and she's older than me. She's like, back in whatever year she said, like years ago. And she said that she took the train ride. And it's funny because you mentioned that. And she's like, I was traumatized for forever because like the people came out of the woods and they like robbed the train. And then she remembers like the guy asking her to open up her mouth and see if she has any gold teeth. And she was like, yeah, she's like, that was the first and last time I ever went.
There are a lot of the stories we hear.
Yeah.
Everyone's traumatized from the train ride.
Yeah.
The train ride.
Yeah, so that and the stagecoach getting robbed is one of the most
memorable
experience people have is just getting robbed.
Yeah.
Because it's and a lot of it's all fun too. People, it's a cool experience.
Right.
Because it's kind of like, who can say they got robbed on a stagecoach?
Right.
And not get mugged.
Yeah, in 2022.
So, yeah, exactly.
Very rare that you get robbed on a stagecoach these days.
And I think that's something different we offer that, might sound crazy, but people enjoy it.
Yeah,
because it's something different to do and all that.
Yeah, Also, take me through kind of like, I mean, the people that work here. Obviously, like if they're doing the horse shows and different things like that. I mean, obviously they have to be very skilled and experienced and all that kind of stuff. And the horses, I'm sure, have to be trained. Like we were talking about it towards the end of the first segment. So maybe kind of take me through like, could I just like apply to be a cowboy? Is that kind of like how that works?
Yeah,
Yes.
I mean, and typically. It's rare if we get someone who is experienced horse rider, experienced actor. Most of the people we train them.
Yeah,
and they're all
they work their way up.
They work their way up, and
like what do you normally like start out as? Like
normally
a robber.
Yeah, you're robbing the stage of train. That's usually one of your first tasks as if you apply for an actor.
Yeah,
and then we work you up to the street, and then we start bring you in outside of operating hours. Start schooling you up on riding a horse, rehearsals, and then. Eventually, these guys work their way up. Like we have a kid here, Chris, he's been here for 9 years, 10 years, and he started the same
high
way.
School, yeah.
Yeah, he had no clue about horses, no clue about acting, but we trained him, and then here he is.
I didn't even want to be an actor at first. Like, he was working at the Stagecoach ticket seller booth, and then I think we finally convinced him, like, hey, like, you should try this.
Yeah, he didn't want to be an actor at first, and finally got him, and here he is. He loves it.
Yeah, it's so cool. Like, I've already decided that, like, then soon I'm coming back because I just want to tell someone like, oh, what are you doing Friday night? I'm going to go to Wild West City and get a drink. Like, that's like all I want to do right now. Or like, I'm going to go to the Golden Nugget, and they're going to be like, where the hell's the Golden Nugget? And I'm like, oh, it's in Wild West City.
Call us up.
Really,
we'll be there.
100% will. Awesome. So that's really cool. So just for each of you, what's your favorite experience type thing that maybe we touched on it, maybe it's something that we haven't talked about yet, but do you have like a favorite thing that goes on here over the course of a day?
I'd have to say in terms of skits, my favorite skit is a skit we called the Sundance Kid. The Sundance Kid comes and rides into town with his gang looking for Doc Holliday, and he thinks he's going to catch Doc Holliday off guard because he wants to, shoot him down.
Sure.
But they come and have a drink, and soon they walk out, and Sundance, all right, I'm going to take this guy out. And then Doc Holliday's like, no, you're not. His gang comes out. Sundance, his gang comes out, and Doc Holliday ends up taking him down. And
they battle it out in the street.
Yeah.
And that show's cool because sometimes we'll have a guy fall off the roof, and stuff like that. So, it's pretty wild. A lot going on.
Awesome.
But it's cool.
Very cool.
Oh, boy, there's a lot. I'm not going to choose just one.
I don't know.
I mean, I love the Stagecoach ride.
Yeah.
It's
actually,
always been my
Stagecoach
favorite.
coming up now.
Yeah, Stagecoach is riding up through town now. They're doing their test drive.
Yeah.
I like a lot of the history. So I don't think we really touched about this, but along the back trail of the Stagecoach, we have what we call living history, which is like an interactive history experience.
Yeah.
So there's like a blacksmith, a mountain man, a schoolhouse, a chuck wagon, and there's an actor stationed there that portrays that role. So if you're going to go to the mountain man, you're going to learn about trapping and survival skills. And I don't know, I think it gets a lot of people involved, and it doesn't matter what age you are, whether you're a kid or an adult, the actor kind of changes the pace so he speaks to the audience that's there.
Yeah. So sorry, I'm doing Instagram Live as we're recording this, just because it's very cool. So so if you're also following on Instagram, you'll see this on my Instagram now, and then you're listening to it in August, but we'll figure that out. Okay, so also the other question I had, I already forgot what it was because I distracted myself, but year round, are you guys open year round or not year round?
We're seasonal. We're seasonal. May through October.
Okay.
Halloween is the last event of the year. In terms of work and being here, no, we're here all year long.
Yeah.
The horses is the main thing.
Yeah,
they're here all year round.
Yeah, they're not seasonal.
Wintertime, we're planning for the next year, fixing things.
Different off-season events. We have film shoots, weddings. Boy Scout troops will sometimes come up here.
Yeah.
So we're do small little things during the winter.
Yeah. Awesome. All right, so we're going to take our second break. That's so cool. I can't wait. I'm going to walk around when we're done.
Yeah, definitely.
Absolutely.
So we're going to take our second break of this episode, and then we'll be back for our community segment here in a little bit. So this is the Greetings from the Garden State podcast. I'm Mike Ham. We are here in Byram, New Jersey at Wild West City with Katie and Frank Benson. We'll be right back. Hey there, Mike Ham again. Thank you so much for supporting the show. If you enjoy what you hear and want to help us keep the show going, head to buymeacoffee.com/Garden State. A $5 donation to the show goes a long way helping us travel around the Garden State, bringing you the best of what New Jersey has to offer. Again, that's buymeacoffee.com/Garden State. Now back to the show. All right, we're back for our third and final segment of this episode of Greetings from the Garden State. I'm Mike Ham. We're here at Wild West City in Byram, New Jersey with Katie and Frank Benson. First segment, learned all about the background, the 65-year history of Wild West City. Second segment kind of took us through maybe like a day of what someone could come to expect, whether it's the first time here. So one of the cool things, and we were kind of talking about this off mic before we started, is the fact that we had talked about how I came here 20 years ago. And, you talk about grandparents bringing their kids here and that whole thing. And our third segment is our community segment. So talk to me about, the specialness of things like that and how that, kind of experience stuff here kind of transcends generations and people just want to be a part of it.
Well, I think what's cool is, we opened up in 1957. You had people, they come here in the 50s, 60s, the 70s, 80s, they brought their kids. And then now they're bringing their grandkids. And sometimes we're even on fourth generations, or sometimes you got grandparents bringing great-grandkids.
Yeah.
And I don't know how many places you can go to where you can have 3 or 4 generations of families experiencing the same fun and getting the same, great experience, and for an affordable price as well.
Yeah,
that's something we kind of strive to do is, in these tough times, kind of make sure that every family can still have an affordable, great time.
Yeah, absolutely.
And not break the bank.
Right.
So, and even in terms of our help. We have help here. We have help here. Like I was telling you before, we had a guy here who's started in 1962. He's been here ever since.
That's
still rides a horse.
Yeah.
Still gets here every day. Gets in all the shows and all that.
Yeah.
And we have people here 20 years.
He's not the one that falls off the roof, I would imagine.
No, he don't do that no more.
Back in the day,
he retired from that one.
He's a real cowboy, though.
Yeah. We've had people here for, who started like, I just need a summer job. I don't want to do this for long. And 10 years later, they're still here.
Yeah.
It's like a second family for a lot of people. We're a tight-knit group of people. Everyone
seems to get along.
Yeah.
And create relationships that sometimes last forever.
Right.
Siblings work here. Like, so it'll start like with a brother, then a sister will join us, and then like their younger brother.
Yep.
And so forth.
Yeah.
So we have a lot of generations, even with workers, not only just the guests who come.
Right. And it's so cool. I mean, you mentioned like your parents met here. Like that's that's insane too. Like it's so cool kind of to see like the like how a place like this can kind of create those types of experiences, because we've had on, as I'm sure you guys know and the listeners already know, like so many different kinds of businesses, and this one is clearly very unique in the sense of like kind of what it offers to people, but it's awesome. And that's why like when I saw the Instagram thing, I was like, I have to have them
on the show.
There's no way that I won't, because it was like I was like, it would say Wild West City and Jay followed you. There's the Instagram handle.
Yeah.
There's a quick plug for that one, and I was like, it's just like I felt it like right away.
Like I gotta be here.
He messaged like literally like instantly. I'm like, oh my god.
Yeah. And it was like just like a random like Tuesday night or whatever it was, and I was like, yep, I'm going. Like we gotta figure this date out. But all right, so maybe take me through being a part of the Stanhope Byram community for 65 years. Kind of take me through like that relationship. I'm sure it's positive. So, I would imagine. And
we have
interacting with different communities.
We have our little Wildest City family here, but then also in the bigger community around us, the local EMT, they'll have their Easter egg hunt here every year, and that's been going on for probably over 20 years.
Yeah, at least.
Yeah,
probably 30.
I remember doing that when I was little. Like, that was like the most exciting thing. Like before the season started, I'm like, oh, I got to go to the Easter egg hunt here.
They'll die like 5,000 eggs too.
Yeah.
Really?
And they'll have them all in the back and all that.
Yeah.
You see a bunch of kids
They'll
come
set them
around,
out.
pick
They'll
them
get
up.
here early in the morning, and like after like 10 minutes, the eggs are all gone.
Yeah.
We have the local Kiwanis Club who will come here. They do their annual pizza challenge. They'll get all the local pizzerias in to donate some pies, and then they'll have people vote on which is the best pizza. And then local animal shelters will have fundraisers and garage sales and things like that as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we kind of open the doors for them because it's good to. Your community helps you, so you gotta give back to them in a way. You pat each other's back.
Right.
It's just the way it goes.
If you're supportive of other people, they're in turn be supportive of you.
Exactly. It'll come back to help you in the future.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah. Awesome. Awesome. Yeah, I love stories like that too. Like, obviously the community side of it's one of my favorite segment, just because you get to see like a lot of the good of people and kind of how they support local businesses like this and other ones that we've had on the show, or people that are doing cool stuff to help other people. And I think it's stuff like that is what kind of makes New Jersey what it's all about.
Yeah, and even like we'll donate the tricky trays. Schools hold tricky trays or organization, whatever, and we'll donate passes, tickets, stuff like that as well too. So
yeah. Awesome. Awesome.
So yeah.
Okay. So if someone's coming here for the first time, what is like the ticket price? Like how does that work? Do you buy them online? Do you buy them at the door?
You can buy them online. You can buy them at the door. For adults, it's $29.50. For kids ages 2 to 12, it's $24.50, and then under 2 is free.
Yeah. Oh, also the other question I had: do people play the same character all the time?
No,
I'm like watching people.
We're
getting closer to open time because we did this before. Just because having gunshots on a podcast, I don't know if that's like ideal. Yeah, I don't even know if it's allowed. We might have to mark this. Yeah, we might get flagged.
Yeah, ban you.
Yeah, like just cancel just because we gotta. And I might have to mark it as explicit. I don't know. But yeah. So like, do they play the same character every day?
No.
Like it switches for the most part every day.
One day you're the marshal, next day you be bad guy.
Yeah,
next day you're robbing a bank.
Right.
Or maybe in the morning you're a marshal, in the afternoon you're robbing a bank. Everyone's all cross-trained and interchangeable. So, which kind of mixes up a little bit.
Yeah.
You kind of get to play different roles, different parts.
Yeah.
I know like, certain characters we portray in history, like Doc Holly, Wyatt Earp, I really like, who they were in history.
Yeah.
I always thought they had a cool background on what they did. So
I've seen the movie Tombstone.
Yeah,
like
Tombstone. That's a great movie. Yeah. And we portray the OK Corral, the shootout scene from the movie here.
Yeah.
So it's kind of cool being able to play those different parts. Kind of
kind of get like a different like a different experience of like you said, being on the good side or the bad side, whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, because like sometimes you want to be a little bad.
Yeah, exactly. Everyone's got their side,
all the time. Okay, cool. So then, what is the? Let's hit them with the social handles. I know I did that earlier in this segment, but social media stuff is what?
So on Instagram, you can follow us at Wild West City NJ. Facebook, just Wild West City. We're also on TikTok too, so that's at Wild West City.
Okay. How's the TikTok game going? Good?
We're getting there. We just started. So.
Yeah, I just started that stuff too. And like I hired a couple people and I was like, you guys are doing this.
It's a lot
I can't
to
be
it.
bothered.
Yeah, that's a lot of work there. A lot of work there in itself.
Yeah.
The marketing, social media
job.
Yeah.
But it's cool because it's like what I think would be great, and this is just my marketing recommendation, or I guess my idea behind it, would just be like the place like this is so visual. Because obviously you're here, you're experiencing it, and if to see that stuff like on social media, I think is just so cool and would be a great way to kind of get
put it
out in front
out
of
there.
people. You know what I mean? Like, not that you need my advice, or I don't even know if that's advice. I just think it's just like a great way to kind of get more eyes on what you guys are doing here because it's awesome here.
Right. A picture tells 1,000 words.
Exactly.
Too, or video, whatever.
The whole experience.
So. And kind of like, oh man, that place looks cool. Let's go check it out.
Right, I want to be a cowboy tomorrow.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So, and then website is
wildwestcity.com.
Wildwestcity.com. And then what is the physical address of this place?
It's 50 Lackawanna Drive. Lackawanna. It's a long one.
Yeah.
Stanhope, New Jersey. We're technically in Byram, but Stanhope's the mailing address.
Gotcha. So, I mean, for me, it was just like a quick little drive up 80.
Plus we're
exit 25 right off of 80.
A couple miles off Route 82. So, it's pretty,
phenomenal.
Pretty quick thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good location.
Yeah, great location. Yeah, it's easily accessible, easy to get to. So, this has been awesome. I can't wait to pack these mics up because I want to walk around for a little bit before everybody else gets here. But yeah, so Katie, Frank, thank you so much for taking me down memory lane a little bit. This was great. It was great to talk to you. I hope people that are listening come out and check this place out because it is cool and such a unique part of New Jersey that I think people just need to know more about. You know what I mean? So I appreciate you guys coming on.
Yeah, and we appreciate you having us. I think
absolutely,
it's great, and hopefully, your listeners enjoy it as well.
Yeah, and then come out and be a cowboy.
Yeah, exactly. Be a cowboy for today.
Yeah, exactly. Awesome. So I'll make sure that I put all those social handles, the website, the physical address in the show notes for people to check it out. I'll also put my email address in the show notes, which is mike@greetingsfromthegardenstate.com. And the website of the show is, of course, greetingsfromthegardenstate.com. Guys, thank you again. Listeners, thank you for listening, and we will catch you. Oh, wait, no, I gotta say the rest of the stuff. This has been the Greetings from the Garden State podcast. I'm Mike Ham. We've been here at Wild West City in Byram, New Jersey with Katie and Frank Benson. Thank you for listening again, and we will catch you next time.